Hello and welcome back to Dutchman Seb. You join me here today for the beginning of the start of the rebuild and reassembly of the Honda S2000 project, J's Racing Type GT. Yes, I know it's a long name. I'm going to work on that and try and shorten it. But Delta Lima Engineering here is going to help us to reassemble all the components you see behind me here. I've taken inspiration from my favorite YouTube channel, the guys over at Throttle. So thank you guys so much for all the inspiration on all your builds. And this is my dream build, which I've done by myself with a lot of sponsors. So I really want to point out the sponsors today and say thank you and a big appreciation to all the people involved over the past 3 years, helping me source parts, helping me source things at discounts, helping me along the build, giving me tips, advice, really helped me to get to where I am today. It would not have been possible without you guys. So without further ado, let's take a walk through the build and see what we have in store for us over the next couple of weeks. So starting with the car itself, you'll see we have a J's Racing Type GT wide body kit. This is the full carbon FRP kit. So the bumpers are FRP, the fenders are FRP, and then you have all the carbon trims. So you'll see here the front splitter, that's all full carbon. You've got carbon flaps on the side here for the aero. Also at the back, we've got carbon flaps with a rear carbon diffuser. And that holds the bumper with the rear fenders. So these fenders are really aggressive. It's probably one of the widest kits that you can buy for the J's Racing. It is 7.5 centimeters wider on each side. So in total, the car from fender to fender is 1.8 meters wide. And that brings me to the next thing, which is the rear spoiler. So the Cybon Carbon GT spoiler, and that is 1.8 meters from edge to edge. So that's going to fit up exactly with our body kit, bringing the whole fenders together. I'm going to go from the back to the front. We've got a beautiful carbon trunk lid. It's from Aerodynamics, I believe. And this has been painted by a real special paint color from Next Level Automotive, where they've done this kind of pearlescent effect over the carbon, that it's still visible through the paint. So you can see the blue and the purple there coming through the carbon fiber clear coat. A lot of people ask me, is this a GTR 34 color? No, it's not. This one is a custom color which I had made for this car. And you can see it comes out really nicely in the light with a bit of blue and purple. All right, then we're gonna move along to the doors. Just stepping over all the parts. So again, carbon doors. These are AeroWorks carbon doors, also painted over with the blue purple clear coat. And you can see here, beautiful, nice doors, super light as well. And the whole interior car has also been painted. Beautiful roll cage has been custom welded, 6-point roll cage by Luke from Custom Car Welding over in the Netherlands. So a real great job for that. We've got a surprise coming for the roof. There is a Spoon Sports Mooncraft hard top, which is 2 pieces. It goes from the trunk with a bit of a ducktail on the roof and comes through to the front. That's still being painted in the same color as the bodywork. So that's going to come soon. We've got the APR GT Formula mirrors in carbon, which look really great. Just loosely fitted them on the car so that you can see. Then we've got a J's Racing 60 RS dual exhaust piece. This is from a catback exhaust, so from the cat all the way to the back. This is quite loud, so it's going to be quite good. All right, then we're going to move across to the parts laying here in front of us. So I've repainted the original Nissan brake calipers in some nice red coloring. We've had brand new hubs fitted here by Don from Delta Lima. So you've got Dorman hubs with hard race extended studs. We've got hard race extended camber bore joints, some nice Brembo brake pads front and rear. Don has sandblasted all of the knuckles and painted them in black, so they look fresh as well. He's also sandblasted the front camber, lower camber arms, control arms, sorry. Then he's also done a really good job fitting all the new bushes. So every single bush in the car has been replaced with hard race bushes. So every single piece here that you see has got a new hard race bush. I think we bought every single hard race product on the catalog apart from the sway bars. We've got hard race engine mounts and gearbox mounts. We've got Hard Race bump steer. So Hard Race was one of the sponsors from AKR Performance. They gave us quite a lot of discounts, so I really want to shout out to guys at Hard Race. We've got stabilizer end links. We've got some EBC steel braided lines. Hard Race camber arms for the front, also at the rear that you see in the subframe at the back there. I'll go back and show you that. We've got Mission Moto as well on board as a sponsor, so they've sponsored us the discounts on the fan shrouds, the X-line radiator, and as well as the silicone hoses. There's also a thermostatic plate as well as a fan switch. And then we were really lucky from AKR's performance giveaway end of last year to win by purchasing most of these parts via AKR over the last couple months. We actually won the set of D2 racing coilovers. So I really want to show how these came out. These are absolutely beautiful and they perfectly fit with the color scheme that we have going on here with the build, purple and blue. And I really just love these D2 racing coilovers, and these are TUV approved from Germany. So if you're in the German region, you can also use these there with certification. So that's a beautiful set of coilovers. They're going to make the car ride and handle perfectly. So then we're going to have a look at the front again. We've got a nice carbon fiber cooling plate here. I've got another piece coming here for the intake, which is like a snorkel that goes through the bumper. Don has been hard at work here over the last couple of weeks, slowly putting together all the parts. He's basically rebuilt the entire engine bolt by bolt. We've had all the bolts on the engine and on the subframe re-galvanized. So every single bolt that you see here in gold has been re-galvanized. I've repainted the pulleys myself, along with the valve cover to match the color of the car. So you see a bluey purple effect as well. And there's a beautiful, nice valve cover. We've got a Mugen style oil cap with a carbon sticker in there. I've polished up all the intake manifolds, so those look good as new. Every single bit of rust in this car has been treated and removed, so everything looks good as new. Drive shaft I've repainted. The whole subframe has been sandblasted. It's been repainted, and then Don has rebuilt the whole subframe here. Like I mentioned, every bush is new, every bolt is new. It's all been re-galvanized. Hard Race camber arms, newly painted brake calipers, EBC steel braided lines again. We've got some new extended Hard Race studs. We've got some beautiful new drilled rotors at the back. Hard Race extended ball joints for the rear. I've painted the half shafts. We've had the lower control arms also sandblasted and painted. All the bolts here for the camber adjustments had been re-galvanized. Sway bars been repainted. So that's the only thing I didn't order new for the car was the sway bars. We've got new Hard Race differential mounts. The diff was also been repainted in the two-tone silver and black. This is your OEM parts going in there for the vehicle, for the fuel lines, for the evaporator. We've got a cover for the shielding for the fuel tank. And I think that brings me to the end of the parts that we have shown here on the ground. So I think all in all, it's going to be an incredibly interesting build to see come along and come to life over the next couple of weeks, that Don is going to start to assemble everything here, put it back together. So I'm really excited, and I hope you are too. So stay tuned for the rest of this build, and let's get this project finished ASAP. All right, she's coming off the cart.
You want the trunk?
Oh, it's all good.
Good, yeah, here we go.
Back in the air. So, looking good. There we go. She's no longer on a cart. First time back in the air for a long time. You can see the whole underside's been completely repainted. We've got some paint saver on there as well. And the whole chassis is looking fresh. There's not a speck of rust anywhere left in this car. So we've taken off the bumpers so that we can put the crash bars back in, exhausts, all the brake lines, make some room for Don to really work. And man, oh man, it looks damn good. So here's all the parts we gotta put back. And that's excluding wiring harnesses, lines for brakes, for fuel. So there's quite a bit to go in. Fuel tank, subframe, engine. Don's got his work cut out for him.
We're good.
So good luck, Don, and we'll keep you guys updated with the progress. Don's working really meticulously here, clean, tidy, organized, not rushed, taking his time, making sure every nut and bolt is done correctly. So I really admire the way that Don works here, super professional, and doing it the way that Honda intended.
Nice.
Thanks, guys, and stay tuned. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up.
Later.
And definitely subscribe. Cheers.
Cool.
Super useful. So these were the old hubs that are completely and utterly destroyed. There was no saving this thing. It was completely fused inside here. So the drive half shaft was fused inside the knuckle, and tried cutting it, heating it, cooling it, smacking it, pressing it. There's just no way. So that one's for the trash. The old dusty heat shields that we spoke about the last time, it's all for the trash. The old hubs, these are all going to go for old metal. Get a couple bucks for the old scrap metal value. And yeah, you can see Don's been really busy here, hard at work, getting all that stuff out of there. And he's also done some really nice handiwork yesterday to get the new hubs pressed. So let's have a look at those. They look good as new. All new Hard Race hardware, extended wheel studs. So thanks to Hard Race. And the ABS sensor we managed to get out of the destroyed knuckle, because that needs to be replaced. So yeah, you can see all the old bolts that came off the hubs. So that's going to go with new wheel bearings. There's your Shuki wheel bearings. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. And Don went yesterday and started sorting through all the engine parts, checking all the bolts, making sure we have all the seals, ACL thrust washers. We need to get new ACL bearings, VTEC solenoid. Here's your I get all the Dutch names confused with the English names again now. Coil packs, pack on coil ignitions, new ARP bolts for the connecting rods. Here's your seals for the valve covers, seals for the valve cover as well for the ignition packs. Here's your crank position knock sensors, crank position sensors. They call them top dead center sensors, I believe. You got your PCV valve here, crank pulley, new main cap bolts, the bolts for the distribution cover. I've actually got new ones galvanized upstairs somewhere that we've had regalvanized. Got a new timing kit here. We've got new oil squirter bolts. Those are oil squirter bolts. The oil squirters have been cleaned in the ultrasonic cleaner. The oil cooler plate has also been cleaned in the ultrasonic cleaner. Polished crankshaft of mine, new gasket sets. There's the newly built head that's been flattened and skimmed. NGK plugs, Honda bond, some assembly lube, pilot bearing, release bearing, new clutch. Oh, it's a used clutch, ACT clutch, heavy duty, multi-rim belt, water pump. A water pump as well. Here's the new thermostat from Mission Motor Racing thermostat. New OEM oil filters. Here's your thermostatic neck. Also some engine assembly lube. So yeah, we're looking like ready to go. We've got new piston rings from Hastings. We've got new ARP head bolts. We've got a new gasket. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Here's the rest of the parts over here. So we've got the diff, which is going to go back in, the gear shifter, ECU, main harness. Here's the intake manifold, engine mounts which are broken and need to be replaced with new mounts. Alternator, all of our fluids, more bolts, starter motor, tensioner. Here's our Hard Race engine mounts. So these are the engine mounts. These are the diff mounts. So that's going to be replacing those crusty old nasty engine diff mounts. And we've got the power steering motor over there. So yeah, a lot of work to do still, and it's getting there slowly but surely. Here's our hard race canvas arms, all adjustable. So yeah, it's looking pretty good, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the progress. So stay tuned. All right, so after unpacking all the S2000 engine parts from the Miata, we've brought them all inside, and it all is assembled nicely here on the table. And Dan's going to make a list for us of what's broken, what's missing, and what needs to be replaced. You can see we've got a new water pump here, new ARP head bolts, NGK plugs, sump and drain plugs, ACL thrust washers, and new race bearings, Honda bond for the oil pan, new full engine head gasket set, some plexi gauge to measure all the oil clearances, ARP bolts for the connecting rods, polished crankshaft, fully rebuilt head, which needs to be taken apart again to put the head bolts on. So the block has been flattened, the deck has been flattened as well. So you can see here they didn't hone or bore anything on the cylinders because it has a real like a ceramic coating inside. I think it's like ceramic coating, correct? There's like a lining on the walls, on the cylinder walls.
Yeah, there is, yeah, and a fair lining.
So yeah, you don't really want to do anything honing wise here, but they measured everything and it was all good. So they just ordered a new set of piston rings. We do need to find where the pistons are because they're not here with everything as well. So we have a new timing distribution kit as well with the oil timing kit as well with new guides. We have the flywheel, all the bolts, water pump housing. We have the valve cover over here, which needs to be repainted in that red. Intake manifold, so more or less everything is kind of complete. We probably need to order all new sensors because here's the wiring harness, and a lot of the sensors have been broken off, like the knock sensor, and
yeah, it happens.
It breaks off all the time whenever you take those kinds of things off. We probably need a new cam position sensor, crankshaft sensor. I don't know if this one has a crankshaft sensor or if it's just a cam sensor. Probably need to get like a new oil pressure switch sensor as well. So yeah, Don's gonna make us a new list, and we'll see what we can get everything ready. He has a really cool warehouse upstairs here with everything in stock. Everything we can't find, he's got it on hand. So if you need anything for your S2000, check out Delta Lima Engineering. I'll put a link below down in the description. And as you can see, they build here only S2000s. So don't bring your other cars here. They just do S2000s.
Just S2000.
That's it.
We'll put it back together for you.
That's it. The way it's meant to be done. But thanks so much, Don. And
you're welcome.
We'll see you next time in a couple of weeks.
Thanks,
Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Cheers.